Hello, my name is Darius Richardson and I will be discussing shoplifting in America. Shoplifting is a very big problem in America. Shoplifting affects more than the offender. It overburdens the police and the courts, adds to stores' security expenses, costs the consumer more goods, costs communities lost dollars in sales taxes, and hurts children and families. Not all shoplifting is the same. There are two distinct types. There are also many ways to help prevent shoplifting. The consumer is affected in a few different ways because of shoplifting. For the consumer who shoplifts, which is usually a teenager or a senior citizen, the law affects them. No shoplifter will never get caught, even though that is what most believe. As shoplifters steal for longer periods of time, and their shoplifting progresses as they start to steal bigger and more expensive items more frequently. As time goes on, they start to become involved with car shopping, stealing cars, and breaking into houses. Shoplifting has its consequences also, which vary from getting your parents called all the way to large amounts of jail time. Even people who accompany shoplifters are in danger. For being with a shoplifter is almost as bad as shoplifting yourself. That is why it is important to stay away from people who are shoplifting. If it is your friend who is shoplifting, it's best you try to stop him or her from shoplifting. Out of all honesty, shoplifting is not right, and we shouldn't be doing it, no matter what the consequences are. For the consumer who does not shoplift, they have the problem of always being suspected. Because of shoplifting, many stores in my area do not allow minors to enter without an adult, especially in the morning times when going to school, because they know kids are in and out the store at a certain time. Many stores will ask you also if you are going to pay for that. It becomes quite annoying when store owners hound you while you're shopping or ask you to leave if you are taking too long when you are actually just browsing. I do it. You do it. Everyone browse time to time. I actually call it window shopping, where I'm looking around a lot, but I'm actually not going to buy anything at the moment. Shoplifters affect the store owners heavily though. The number one reason small, new businesses too close to shoplifting. That's why a lot of small businesses close. Approximately 10% of the consumers in a store and shoplift. 10%. It don't seem like it's a lot, but it do adds up. It is very hard to run a store when 10% of your store is stolen from you. The other factor is security equipment. It is expensive to run security precautions in your store, which is why so many small stores have none. When a store becomes big enough to afford good security equipment, such as cameras and security, surveillance team, then it is worth it. Security usually pays itself off from the money they get from shoplifters. When a person is caught for shoplifting, they expect forgiveness because to them it does not seem like it's a big deal, in which it is. The only problem is that the person is not the only one. It probably happens pretty regular. Future store owners are affected by shoplifting. If you live in a bad area, or maybe even in any area for that matter of fact, you are open to shoplifting. Since most future store owners are aware of damages of shoplifting, they are discouraged from opening their own stores. Shoplifting affects our economy bad. The big problem is that it inflates prices, which actually means it rises prices. The only way that a store can maintain when almost 10% of their store is being robbed is to raise prices to balance that back off what was taken from them. It is not fair that some people can steal and others work hard and pay for, which is the honest way. If a store has to close down and then cut jobs, everyone loses. One store may not seem like a big difference, but when stores are closing every day because they can't maintain a stable business because of shoplifting, it has a big influence on our economy. The loss of jobs then accounts for more unemployed, which equals worse economy. If a future store owner decides it is not a good idea, then this also cuts down jobs. It is estimated that the United States economy loses $10 billion due to shoplifting a year. $10 billion. Just think about it for a second. That is a lot of shoplifting. That is $10 billion in business need to compensate for. Another point for why shoplifting has hurt our economy, that we have to pay out our taxes for the burden of the police and the courts. It also hurt community sales tax. Professional shoplifters, non-professional shoplifters as a whole, these individuals usually commit other types of crimes and lack any consequences or guilt. The usual approaches with them are treatment centers or jail. Non-professional shoplifters are the people who make up the majority of shoplifters, who steal for a few different reasons, most related to common life situations and their personal ability to cope. They include people who are depressed, frustrated, anxious, influenced by peers, thrill seekers, or just really, how I call it, a plain old thief. These people steal items they often don't need and sometimes don't use. While many non-professional shoplifters steal from stores on a regular basis, they usually have no prior criminal records and are typically the kind of people who don't commit other type of crimes. It's sort of like petty theft. It's real petty to go steal something and it's not really worth it. The best approach for non-professional shoplifters is for the community to make available a treatment center at the time when shoplifters will be the most receptive to it. That is, when they're caught or prosecuted. I really believe a person will never stop stealing until they keep getting caught. Why stop if you never got caught? It seems like it's easy and it's very simple. There are many different types of security also. There are security systems that work, and there are those that which may be broken or just for looks. I call them dummy securities. No one can really tell the difference, and it usually gets to the point across that he or she should not steal from there. The basic security systems is the detectives found at the entrance of the store. I have seen these work because of the alarm system that goes off and the different sounds effects. The plus to the system is that it dramatically reduces the rate of shoplifting in stores, and it's relatively cheap. Another strategy they use is the ink tags, which is commonly used by department stores, such as your Belts, Kmart, Sears, and so forth. These can sometimes also be detected with metal detectors at the front of the stores. These are not very expensive and usually get good results. There are companies that will install surveillance systems and then run them by having security employees monitor the system. Many stores only have a camera for the cash register, which will only help if the store is held up. Well, it makes sense to have one on the register, but if you're running a store, you need other cameras other places also. One thing I found out is that the internet is very resourceful way to find out about illegal actions. There were many websites that told how to shoplift or how to get caught. Since we have the freedom of speech, there is not much we can do about this. But I think it should be a law censoring these sites such as pornography and censor. Like pornography is censored. I don't think it's a good idea for adults to go to these sites, which a lot of them do anyway. Even though statistics show that a high percentage of adult thefts, I'm happy to say that I have not shoplifted since I have been caught before by my parents, which I got my behind toe up, and I learned at an early age it's not right to steal or shoplift. Until this day, I value my job, I value going to work, I value my family, I value my freedom, and most of all, I value not to have to shoplift in America. Thank you.